started out working with youth, and then I transitioned to working with, adults who, we're all just little children, right? And I think that the diverse background helps me kind of relate to different people, bringing in science, bringing in art, bringing in music, bringing in all of those things. And you want to meet people where they are and with what they've got going on, and backgrounds. We've done a few things with domestic violence shelters and other places, and being able to be authentically in those spaces and with all kinds of people is what's important.
Yeah. Especially people who are healing.
Yeah.
If they can't relate to you, then they can't talk to you.
Right. If you don't seem real, or if you present, this project a sense of success that's unattainable, or that they think is unattainable, or in some way that it's inaccessible for folks to go there sometimes. So trying to, I tend not to use a lot of Sanskrit. So when I need to use Sanskrit, I'm like, oh, okay, I have to go look that up, when I'm writing or doing something else in a situation where I need that. I know it and I've got it. But in my everyday classes with the folks I serve, it makes it inaccessible for them. And they're like, what does that mean? What, they just can't go there. And I'm like, just breathe, focus on your heart, and, we don't need to talk about the atom or Atman, or the,
Atman and Brahman
and all of that.
Yeah.
Let's just calm the mind, right? And seek to open up our perceptions. And as we do that, I can invite them into that energy flow. And they might not know what a vayu is. They might not know what a chakra is. But they know that when they sit down in class, or when they sit down at home and they start to do the practices and they start to breathe, that they feel better in their body. And they're able to connect to their true self, to their authentic self. They're able to feel self-empowered and and find that balance.
That's a big thing that COVID really did open up for many of us. And it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, what your income level is, it leveled the playing field. All of us were looking for a way to be healthier, to be more internally connected, or connected with family, just connected somehow, because we felt how disconnected we were at some level as we're all sitting in isolation, put it right in our face, right? And so for individuals like you and others that I've talked to begin to take this into a form where it could be accessible to everyone, where it wasn't that your ego was so strong that it had to be, oh no, it has to only say that yoga is the alignment of Atman and Brahman. Well, yes, that is true, and it will always remain true. But the average person sitting in their home, that's not what their focus is going to be. It's going to be, what is in this for me, and how can I feel better? Using the pranayam. And they don't even necessarily care that it's called pranayam. They want to know, what steps do I have to take? Now, once I'm through this, I might be interested in learning all of that, but help me get through this first.
Yeah.
And so I honor you so greatly for taking the time to make it accessible to people that it might not have ever been on their list to even consider in the first place.
Yeah. And the other thing that I invite people to do when they're, and that's chanting. So you just take a simple word or phrase, and that repetition. We know that in Christian church, we might sing a song, right? But break it down. Take a very short word or phrase. It might be a favorite scripture. It might be an affirmation, but begin to just say that over and over to yourself with the breath. And it's really calming. One I like to use is breathing in, me and thee, breathing out, thee and me. Or I guess I did backwards. breathing in, thee and me, right? We're taking that in. Exhaling out, me and thee. And whatever your, thee is, however you imagine the divine, but that inflow and outflow of the breath with that heart-focused breathing, over time, just that simple practice. People ask, how can I meditate more? How can I add something else into my really busy schedule? How can I, fit in exercise? It's really simple to take 1 minute, 2 minutes. And while you're waiting for your coffee to perk in the morning or your water to heat up, breathe. Flow side to side. Do something in that 2-minute time frame that'll help recenter and refocus you for the rest of your day.
Yeah.
We think it has to be, 20 minutes or 30 minutes of something extreme, and it doesn't. Start small, build in those little incremental things, and build them onto things we already do. Brushing our teeth in the morning, making our coffee.
Yeah. Austin calls it the French fry approach. Like, if you might think that having 1 or 2 fries isn't a very big deal, but if you do that every couple hours, eventually you notice it adds to your waistline.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the same thing with the positive thing, like every couple hours, take 1 or 2 minutes to do something positive for yourself, imagine what that does for your mental waistline. Like, it pumps you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it really does. And cumulatively, then if you're doing that, if you were to stop, to think about that, if you were to stop every hour and you're just taking 1 or 2 minutes to do a heart-focused breath.
Yeah.
Over 24 hours, or you're sleeping some of that, but over your 12-hour day, let's say, that becomes, 24 minutes.
Yeah. So you've done a full meditation by the end of your day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that is accessible. That is so accessible.